Hey everybody, and welcome back to my channel. So today we're going to be continuing my Zodiac series, and I'm going to be making Aries. So this particular version of Aries, I decided to jump straight into Greco-Roman design and try to create my best interpretation of Aries, the god of war. He's going to be having like a helmet, and I made it so that one of his eyes has a cut through it, kind of like he's been scarred by war. And this doll, I was making them while I got a new job. I also was doing a couple commissions. So he was kind of the doll that I was working on while I was doing other things. And he was kind of my relief doll. So while I was working on some of the other dolls that I was making for other people, I would hop back to this one to give myself a break. So once I decided to make a chest tattoo, there was absolutely no going back. So when I decided to make this chest tattoo here, I knew that he was going to have to be shirtless at some point, because what's the point of putting a chest tattoo on and then putting a shirt over it? So I knew there was no going back. We're having our first ever shirtless doll. So I originally drilled out his hand so that I could install a magnet, and the magnet is still there. I did succeed in that, and I did make him a weapon, but the problem is that the weapon became way too heavy for his hand to hold anyway. So, because I made the axe out of clay, and I sculpted it on one side, and then I heated it up and then resculpted it on the other side. I also made him a helmet. The helmet is made out of part clay and also part paper mache, and the brown slash grayish parts, those are made out of epoxy sculpt. Keep in mind, epoxy sculpt is pretty hefty, and it is almost an industrial type clay, so just be aware that it is a little expensive, and it is very hard, and it is very heavy after a while. So be careful if you're going to use a lot of it, because it does get heavy really, really fast. And now we get on to something that was very interesting. This doll just took on a mind of his own at some point. So I decided that I was going to give him a wound. So what I used was some paper towel that we had and some tissue, some napkins. And basically what I did was I tore the napkins up and kind of doused them in super glue and then put them around his body and super glued it to his body to make like this textured skin. When the glue dried, I painted it red and then started brushing on a little bit of brown, a little bit of light red to kind of make it look like a wound that's healed, but not quite healed. If you think you know who the doll is that I'm going to use that scar technique for, comment it down below, because there's a little bit of a prize for whoever gets it first. Whoever can guess what character I'm making that happens to have a burn-ish scar on their face, they'll get a prize. And I will announce the prize and the winner in the next video of the Zodiac series. I am so grateful that you guys have continued to watch my series. I really appreciate all of you, and I hope you guys are having a great week, a great month, and a great year. I will see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye.